Okay, in this video, we're going to look at how to summarize your culture. And what you're going to do for that is use these 8 criteria that are all in different color in your planning sheet in order to respond to those things to create a summary of your culture. So I wrote a lot. You don't necessarily have to write this much, but you do want to address every one of the criteria. And I'm going to ask that you color code your response so that it shows me you've checked your work and that I can give you more specific feedback if it doesn't totally add up. So the first thing to start with is daily life. Think about your daily life in terms of how that defines you in terms of your culture. Here's what I wrote. In my culture, my daily life consists of raising my daughter, hanging out with my wife, and trying to get better at my job and trying to work out at some point. Beyond that, I'd also say that climbing, mountain biking, and kiteboarding are activities that also define me culturally. So I think about my daily life and then other things that I like to do, but maybe don't get to do every single day. In terms of customs and laws. In terms of customs and laws, I follow laws set by the U.S. government because As for customs, I'm a teacher. Customs are kind of like the normal things that you would do or normal sort of behaviors that you would do. And so I'm a teacher and a parent, which means I try to act in such a way that I set a good example for kids, at least when I'm around them. Shared history. So shared history means like in terms of the people that I interact with on a daily basis, what kind of history do we all have together? What do we have in common in terms of our history? So I said the shared history I have with people in my culture is of an American experience because I interact with Americans on a daily basis, which to me is both a history of some pretty great ideas that are often carried out and a history of people taking advantage of others in order to get what they want. Both of these things have happened a lot in American history, and both of them happen all the time still. The effect of these actions are still around me today. The next thing I think about is art and entertainment. What kind of art, what kind of entertainment do I consume on a daily basis? Now, this doesn't mean do you like go look at paintings every day. If you do, cool, that's awesome. And I do that sometimes, but in terms of art, I listen to lots of music, I read books, I watch movies, I watch TV shows. All those things can be considered art too. So I says, as for art and entertainment, I consume a lot of media. I like TV shows and movies, as well as music that doesn't usually get played on the radio. I like to find my own entertainment and don't usually listen, watch, or read anything just because it's popular. The next thing, work and rewards. So basically, and this is thinking about like, why do you show up for work? Well, for work, for you, it's probably school. And then what are those rewards that you get that motivate you to work? I said the motivation to work that I've always grown to believe in is that it's just as important to make the world a better place as it is to make money. In general, I would like to do both at the same time, if at all possible. Belief systems. So this comes down to like religion, this comes down to politics, this comes down to how you think about how to interact with the people around you, and beyond that, like if you believe like in the afterlife and things like that. As for my beliefs, I was raised to believe that the best thing a human can do is be a positive impact on the world around them, and that would kind of summarize my general belief system. And then values. Values kind of ties into belief systems, but whereas belief systems are the thing you believe, values kind of are what belief systems lead you to think are important. So I would say this would also be pretty close to summarizing the values in the culture I live in. Those values are hard work, patience, kindness, self-control, forgiveness, compassion for other people, and an understanding that my life experience led me to where I am and what I believe, but that doesn't mean I'm always right or everyone should agree with me or act the same. I think a lot of the people I hang out with, a lot of my friends, would probably think kind of the same thing in terms of the culture I exist in most of the time. And beyond that, my values say that everyone has had their own life experience that led them to where they are. The best we can do as humans is to figure out a way to work together and make the world a better place. And I think that's something that, like, as a culture, I think our culture tends to value the idea that we should try to get along in one way or another in terms of the culture I live in. So that's how I explain my culture.